Bumble. It's a name that I can bet everyone has heard of. No matter if you have used this dating app or not, you would have definitely known about this app. But do you know Whitney Wolfe Herd, who brought Bumble to life and was co-founder of Tinder? No, Bumble is not a sister application to Tinder, but people like to call it a revenge from Tinder. Why would Whitney take revenge on Tinder? But how did this app become so popular? Who is responsible for its success? The United States online dating business is mostly controlled by Interactive Corp IAC, which owns Tinder, Match, OkCupid, and Plenty of Fish, among other big websites. IAC had such a big share of the market that it seemed almost impossible to compete with them. But Whitney Wolfe Herd challenged IAC with Bumble as her weapon, and he gave a tough fight to this big bull of the industry. One of the people who helped start Tinder was Whitney Wolfe Herd, who was very important to its early success. Yes, you heard that right. Before Bumble, Whitney was Tinder's core team member, but because of problems within the company, she quit. She then chose to make something new that put safety and empowering women first. But what? Well, she had prior experience of creating and running a dating app. So, she decided to create one. Hence, she started Bumble in 2014, an application where only women can start talks with straight matches. So, you see, prior experience with dating applications, with his new vision to provide women a safe space. This idea spread quickly and made Bumble stand out from other dating apps. Before we jump to the next part, we are giving away free ebook for the best 100 businesses start that you can start right now. Just simply comment down ebook and I will send the link to download it. Let's get back to the video. Bumble wasn't just another dating app. It was created after a very strange event. Whitney had an ugly argument with Tinder creators. Things got really messy after that argument. She sued Tinder, saying that they harassed her sexually. It was a serious accusation, and Tinder wanted to get rid of this controversy as soon as possible. Tinder offered her certain deals, and finally, she agreed to $1 million in business stock, but she wasn't stopped from making a different app. In much less time, Bumble stood out immediately because it changed how people date. Only women could start talks on the app, which gave them more control over their dating lives. It eradicated the concept that men only make the first move. Bumble also created its space easily because in other apps, women get a lot of messages due to which they used to get overwhelmed. So, Bumble gave women the freedom to text men as they like. Everyone likes to explore something new. People like the idea right away. In just a few years, Bumble went from barely living to thriving. How was this app different from other dating applications? Yes, we know the women-centric approach, but what else? People can make accounts with pictures on the dating app Bumble and then swipe through possible matches. You swipe right to show that you're interested and left to show that you're not. It's a match when two people swipe right on each other. So, this process is the same as Tinder, or a matter of fact, most other dating apps. One thing that makes Bumble unique is that the woman has 24 hours to start talking to the man after they are matched. The match is over if she doesn't. This rule makes things more serious and changes the way dating usually works. Now, what's the idea behind this one-of-a-kind method? It was brought up over drinks. We are not making it up. Whitney shared this story in a 2017 interview with Forbes. She was having a conversation with Andrei Andreev, the investor who helped make Bumble happen. "I always wished I had a guy's number without giving him mine first," she told him. "What if women went first? If they don't, the match goes away. Just like Cinderella's carriage turning into a pumpkin, right?" It was a light bulb moment that came from real events. This small but important change set Bumble apart from the others. But the business of dating apps is tough. Big companies rule, and most new apps fail very quickly. Bumble wasn't the first dating app, and as a beginner, it didn't have any big benefits. Bumble is unique because it was made just for women. That's a big part of why it's worked so well. There are more women than men on Bumble compared to other dating apps, which doesn't happen very often in online dating. Bumble says there are 30% more women on the app than on other dating sites for every guy. And Oguri's study says that the lack of women on relationship apps is a big problem. Just look at Tinder. There are 9 guys for every woman. On the other hand, Bumble has a much better ratio, with 7 guys for every 3 women. Everyone has a better time with the app now that it's balanced. But Bumble doesn't just count numbers, it also does real things to keep women safe. Something great? It became illegal to send inappropriate pictures in Texas in March 2019. Whitney Wolfe Herd, the founder of Bumble, pushed for this to happen. That's when Bumble added a smart feature that blocks inappropriate pictures before they even reach users. People are kicked off the station right away if they cross the line. They even sent a message that said, "Dear person, someone told us that you lost it with one of our female users. You are now blocked from Bumble." This is a very different way to protect yourself. This shows that Bumble is more than just a dating app. It's a place that really cares about women and their safety. Bumble shows that it's really meant to give women from all walks of life more power by making dating safer and fair. That's the trick. Make a woman feel safe, and they will not join that app themselves, but they will also recommend it to their friends. Because of what Whitney went through with Tinder, she was set on making something better. She didn't just want to make another dating app, she wanted to fix 2 major issues: overcome gender roles in dating, and women should not remain afraid because of careless and rude people on the internet. But she had bigger plans for Bumble than just dating. She wanted to make a site that could help more than one person. Because of this, Bumble isn't just for dating. You can also use it to meet new people and help your career. Who could have thought a dating app could be a place for networking? Once you turn on BFF mode, the app will help you find people of the same gender to be friends with. Want to move up in your job? Professionals can use Bumble Biz to connect with each other and find work. These tools aren't making Bumble a lot of money just yet, but the company sees them as ways to grow and become more important to people. By adding more features besides dating, the app builds its brand and learns more about what its users really want. Bumble keeps growing and getting more users because it has a bigger goal: to help people meet in more ways with kindness and respect. Bumble's success didn't happen quickly. It took a culture of taking responsibility and working together to make it happen. Whitney Wolfe Herd, the company's founder, worked hard from the start to build a team of people who really believed in the company's goal. She didn't just hire people, she trained them to be leaders. The first 10 people she hired were not only learning how to do their jobs, but also the company's ideals so they could teach them to others as the team grew. By 2016 or 2017, Bumble had grown beyond dating and added tools for making friends and networking for business. Bumble soon became the shark of the dating app world. The whole market was talking about it. When something new dares to grow, the already existing people in the industry try to put a price tag on it. Therefore, Match.com even made an offer to buy Bumble for $450 million, but Whitney turned it down. It had to be hard to make that choice since she owned about 20% of the business. But now I see that it was the right thing to do. By 2019, Bumble was making almost $500 million a year and growing at a rate of over 35% a year. But how can you get a good story with a strange twist? Soon a big problem emerged. Founder of Badoo, Andrei Andreev, was accused of sexism and discrimination at Badoo. After the investigation, Andrei lost almost everything. He was the man who convinced Whitney to start a dating app. He was the man with whom, over a few drinks, Whitney got this light bulb idea of a women-centric dating app. He was the man who owned Bumble's major shares. Because of the huge backlash, he sold his Bumble share to the investment company Blackstone for a huge $3 billion. Now that Andreev was out of the picture, Whitney became CEO and was in charge of both Bumble and Badoo. The business kept growing, and by the end of 2019, it was making money, which investors love to see, especially after a disaster like WeWork. It had 100 million users by the middle of 2020. I bet you were also part of this count, isn't it? And early in 2021, the company had an IPO, which was another big step forward. The price of shares went from $43 to $76 very quickly on the first day. Bumble was worth more than $13 billion by the end of the day. Not bad for a business started by Whitney Wolfe Herd in 2014. At age 31, she was the youngest woman in U.S. history to take a business public. You can't count on the stock market, though. Bumble's stock went up to $84 soon after the IPO, but then fell below $20 in 2022 because tech stocks were having a hard time. Competition was still tough, and investors were worried about inflation. Still, Bumble kept growing. It added Bumble BFF for making friends and Bumble Biz for business connections. Online dating grew a lot during the pandemic. In 2020, Bumble made $582 million, but it also lost $116 million, which is like going on a nice date to impress. Before we move further, if you are enjoying watching the video, you can appreciate our efforts by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Your small gestures can motivate us to keep moving forward. Whitney didn't just teach lessons about work, though. She knew that real ties lead to real teamwork. That's why she told her team to talk about more than just work. They would hang out at her house on Saturdays, relax, and get to know each other better. They cared about Bumble's progress because they felt like they were a part of something bigger than just their job. Let me share a fun fact with you. Whitney didn't come up with the name Bumble. One of her team members did. She's talked about this in at least 3 talks, which shows how much she cares about her community. It's easy for her to lead, but things work better because she makes sure that each team member should think like a mini CEO. She doesn't micromanage. Instead, she gives people the freedom to make their own choices, take responsibility, and lead in their own way. This way of thinking has helped Bumble a lot because it makes the team more problem solvers than task doers. Finally, Bumble has gone public, which is the start of an exciting new era for the company. You wouldn't believe how far it has come. Your company is only as good as the people who use it, and Bumble has already made a huge difference. Over 850 million matches and 5,000 weddings and engagements. That is a lot of love stories that an app has made possible. I find Whitney Wolfe Herd, the founder of Bumble, to be one of the most inspiring parts of its story. She made something truly revolutionary, showing that a dating app where women initiate contact could be successful. What do you think about Bumble, its growth, and how Whitney made this dating app a masterpiece? Tell us your views in the comments section below. If you want us to cover any particular business, you can mention it in the comments section and we will take it from there. Till then, you can go through our already existing videos. If you enjoyed watching the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you soon in another video.